Letter 3. Comparing Heaven and Hell. The greatest reward for our hard work is not what we get, but what we will become. If you view work as a pleasure, life is heaven. If you view work as a duty, life is hell. November 9th, 1897. Dear John, there is an allegory that is very meaningful and provided me with a lot of insights. The fable said, in ancient Europe, a man found himself in a wonderful place where he could enjoy everything in his afterlife. As soon as he stepped into the piece of music, someone who looked like a waiter came over and asked him, "Sir, do you have any needs? Here you can have everything you want, delicious food, all possible forms of entertainment and all kinds of pastimes. Amongst them are many beautiful young women where you can enjoy as you please." After listening to the waiter, the man was a little surprised, but very happy, as he happily thought to himself, "This is not my dream in the world." Throughout the day he had been tasting all of the delicious food while enjoying the taste of beauty. However, one day, he was bored, so he said to the waiter, "I am bored from all of this and I need to do something. Can you find me a job to do?" He did not expect that the answer he received was the waiter shaking his head, "Sorry, my sir, this is the only thing we can't do for you here. There is no work here for you." The man was very frustrated and waved his hand angrily as he said, "This is really bad. Then I will just stay in hell." "Where do you think you're at?" said the waiter gently. "John, this very humorous fable tells me that losing work means losing happiness. It is regrettable that some people only realize this after being unemployed, which is very unfortunate. I am proud to say that I have never tasted unemployment. This is not my luck, because I never treat work as hard labor without fun. Instead, I found infinite happiness from work. I think that work is a privilege, as it brings more than just sustaining life. Work is the foundation of all businesses, the source of prosperity, and the shaper of genius. Work makes young people work harder and do more than their parents no matter how rich they are. Work is expressed in the humblest forms and lays the foundation for happiness. A job helps to add flavors to life. But people must love work before it can return the biggest favors and achieve the greatest results. When I first entered the business world, I often heard that a person who wants to climb to the peak needs to make a lot of sacrifices. However, as the years passed, I began to understand that many people who were climbing to the peak were not paying the price. They work hard because they really like work. People who climb up in any industry are fully committed to what they are doing and are dedicated. Sincerely love the work you do, you will naturally succeed. Loving work is a belief. With this faith, we can heave the desperate mountain into a rock of hope. A great painter said it well, pain will eventually pass, but beauty will last forever. But some people are obviously not smart enough. They have ambitions but are too picky about their work. They are always looking for a perfect employer or job. The fact is that employers need punctual, honest, and hard-working employees. They only leave the salary increase and promotion opportunities to those employees who work hard, are very loyal, extra zealous, and spend more time doing things, because they are running a business, not a charity. They need those who are more valuable. No matter how great a person's ambitions are, he must at least begin before he can reach the peak. Once started, it is not difficult to progress. The more difficult or unpleasant the work is, the more urgent it is to accomplish it. The longer he waits, the more difficult and scarier it becomes. This is a bit like shooting a gun. The longer you aim, the lower the chance of you pulling the trigger. I will never forget my first job, the experience of being a bookkeeper. At that time, although I had to go to work every day when the morning just begun, but that never let me lose interest in the job. Instead, it fascinated and delighted me. Even all the red tape in the office did not make me lose my passion for the job. As a result, the employer kept raising my salary. Income is just a byproduct of your work. Doing what you should do, accomplishing what you should do well, the ideal salary will come. And more importantly, the highest reward for our hard work is not what we get, but what we will become. Those who are mentally active do not just work hard to earn money. The real reason behind the passion for their work is far more noble. They are engaged in a fascinating career. Honestly, I am an ambitionist. Since I was a child, I have wanted to be a wealthy man. For me, The Hewitt-Tuttle company I worked at was a good place to exercise my ability and give myself a try in the business. It is a provider of a variety of commodities, owns an iron ore, and operates two technologies which the company heavily relies on to generate profits, namely, railways and telegraphs that revolutionized the American economy. It has brought me into a fun, vast and splendid business world, and taught me to respect numbers and facts. It has also allowed me to see the power of the transportation industry and has cultivated the abilities and qualities that I should have as a businessman. All of these have played a great role in my future business. I can say that without the experience at Hewitt-Tuttle, I may have taken many detours in my career. Now, whenever I think of Mr. Hewitt and Tuttle, I cannot help but feel grateful in my heart. That period of time marked the beginning of my career and laid the foundation for my struggles. I am forever grateful for that 3.5 years of experience. So, I have never complained about my employer, unlike some who might say, "We are nothing but just slaves, we are being suppressed by our employers," but they are standing tall while enjoying themselves in their beautiful villas, their safes are full with gold, and every dollar they have is obtained by exploiting honest workers like us. I don't know if these complainers want to be irregular, minority, but who gave you the opportunity to work? Who gave you the chance to build a family? Who gave you the possibility to develop yourself? If you realized they are exploiting you, why don't you end it by leaving for good? The workbench is a type of attitude. It determines whether we are happy or not. In a group of stonemasons who are doing the same job sculpting stone statues, if you were to ask them, "What are you doing here?" one of them might say, "You see, I am chiseling stone, and I can go home after chiseling this piece." This kind of person always treats work as a punishment, and the word he often spits out from his mouth is tired. Another person might say, "You see, I am making a statue. This is a very hard job, but the compensation is very high. After all, I have a wife and 4 children, and they need food and clothing." Regarding work as a burden, a sentence he often spits out from his mouth is feeding his family. The third person may put down the hammer and proudly point to the stone carving and say, "You see, I am making a work of art." This kind of person always takes pride in and enjoys his work and often cites, "This job is very meaningful." Heaven and hell are created by ourselves. If you give meaning to your work, you will feel happy regardless of its size, and you will feel fulfilled no matter what self-set results you have attained. If you don't like to do anything, even the simplest things will become difficult and boring. When you lament that this work is very tiring, despite not working hard, you will feel exhausted. In other words, there is a huge difference. This is how things are. John, if you view work as a pleasure, life is heaven. If you view work as a duty, life is hell. Reflect on your work attitude. It will make everyone happy. Love. Your father. Letter 3.